Howdy gang, today I'm going to rant about why I think the Ghost Leviathan is the scariest Leviathan in Subnautica. Let's go! For starters, let's talk sounds. Subnautica is a game full of eerie sounds and music to put you on edge. The Ghost Leviathan is no different, although it does it in a rather peculiar way. Most enemies in the game constantly produce sound or some sort of ambience to let you know they're there. The Ghost Leviathan doesn't do that. The Ghost Leviathan is more silent, making it, in my opinion, way harder to hear or detect unless it's already attacking you or you can already directly see it. Meaning that thing is more likely to sneak up behind you until that ear-piercing scream of death fills your ears and you're just screwed. The other key thing that I think that makes them scarier is their design. The bioluminescent skin that is also transparent, exposing its internal organs and bone structure, just makes it creepier. Bioluminescence is something that is found in lots of sea dwellings on Earth, often used to lure prey in, like an anglerfish, but a million times scarier. I guess it is in human nature to be drawn to shiny things because in my first playthrough I literally swam up to one trying to scan it and died, as you can imagine. The Ghost Leviathan has one of the most interesting designs out of all the hostile Leviathans in Subnautica, in my opinion. And if you've played the game in the dark, you know how well the Ghost Leviathans can blend into the darkness despite that bioluminescent glow. You will not see them until the last second where they are charging full speed at you. Now let's talk about why I don't think the other Leviathans compare to the Ghost. Starting with the Reaper. Yeah, I don't think I have to explain much here. I mean, look at it. Yes, the Reaper is a frightening encounter, especially on your first playthrough, but what makes them less scary than the Ghosts is sound. The Reaper is incredibly loud, as you can hear it from a mile away, making them easier to maneuver around. The Reaper is also much easier to avoid overall because there's really only two story locations where you can bump into them. The Aurora or the mountains. But let's be real, if you take a pretty leisurely path along the side of the Aurora and slip through the side of the metal frame on the front of the ship, you're basically guaranteed to miss one. The mountains also require you to swim rather deep in order to encounter one, making them less of a problem. Just stick to the surface and you should be fine. What even is this? It's literally a dragon. Do I need to explain why I don't find that scary? A dragon with tentacle legs is not very frightening to me. And yes, the Sea Dragon Leviathan is in a more confined space where you are more likely to bump into them. But realistically, if you hug the floor just straight shot to the Architect holding facility, you have a better chance of just slipping by. I get that them having a ranged attack is more stressful, but it's usually decently easy to avoid unless it's in a point-blank range, then you're cooked. In my opinion, I find the Sea Dragon to be the least scary out of the three. I mean, a dragon isn't as scary as a giant ghost monster trying to eat you whole. The Ghost Leviathan, while having less spawns than the Reaper, who I believe has over 25 total across the map, the Ghost Leviathan occupies more story-central areas, kind of like the North Bloodkelp Forest, Grand Reef, Lost River, and the Void, even though that isn't a story location. Two full-grown Ghost Leviathans occupy the Grand Reef, and one occupies the Bloodkelp Forest. Technically, you can avoid these encounters, but the two juveniles who inhabit the Lost River are more of a hassle to get around, especially if you want to scan everything the Lost River has to offer. But the biggest threat of the Ghost Leviathans comes from the ecological dead zone known as the Void. 3 massive Ghost Leviathans occupy this dead zone and are a relentless force acting as the game's invisible wall. I remember the first time I accidentally hit the Void in my first playthrough and screamed when I got ragdolled into the air by a mega Ghost Leviathan, let alone 3. Thanks for watching. Once again, this was primarily my opinion on the matter. The Ghost Leviathan is my favorite of the 3, so I'm probably biased. I'd love to know what y'all think is the scariest Leviathan in the game. Please don't mind the format. I'm new to this and I'm trying to figure out how to YouTube properly, so bear with me, please. Have a wonderful day and ta-ta.